Strong looks different for each of us, and it's time to put focus on our unique journeys that get us there. This space created weekly is for athletes to improve their mindset in order to better navigate challenges that come up in sport and in different seasons of life. On this show, we ask the questions that lead to better answers and have the conversations that truly matter. This is the Becoming Your Strong podcast. Hey, you guys, welcome back to another episode of the Becoming Your Strong podcast. I am thrilled because you don't just have me, you have someone else amazing on the episode with me. And this one personally just touches my heart because this individual has not only been a listener of the podcast, but is a fellow coach with me in the hybrid racing space. And over the last couple of weeks, she's been listening to my journey as far as me talking about very vulnerably of where I'm at with weight gain and bloating and just not feeling myself. And she personally reached out to me saying, hey, I want to help. And that's sort of how the relationship started. And after a couple of weeks of going back and forth with some potential treatment plans, I thought this is an incredible opportunity to educate not only people, I should say, but probably women, I'd have to imagine, would really gain from what she has to say. So Missy, I am so excited to have you. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we were just catching up and getting to know each other a little bit more before we press record. I didn't want to go too far. So let's let the listeners know not only just who you are and how you help people, but how you got into this space and what's kept you here.
Yeah, so I've been training for 30 years now. So I've kind of been around the block for a while. My degrees are in this as well. And then 12 years ago, I actually opened up my own gym. So and then from there, Spartan races. And as far as the hybrid world, like I just told you, I've never even ran a DECA race.
Yeah, crazy.
Secrets out. Have not run high rocks. But just studying the game is that more what it is. I love the strategies behind it. I actually like the team aspects even more. And then how can you empower somebody? You can take somebody who's had injuries or their weight loss journey. You're a great example. Somebody who's lost a lot of weight. Okay, what's next? Where do I go from here? So yeah, that's kind of where I've landed in a little weird fashion, not the normal way.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure that owning your own business for the last 12 years has been an up and down journey itself. Have you always, since the founding of donedonefitness, have you always been in the hybrid space, or did you start off primarily in strength training and then it just kind of morphed as the years went on?
Yeah, it kind of morphed as years went on because we did Spartan races, Savage races for years. And then it was really up until COVID. And that's kind of when the hybrid game came out as well. You had to pivot. Mm-hmm. So I made a huge pivot and we haven't really left it. And our average age is, oh my gosh, we had like the third biggest team at DECA last year.
Yep.
And I think our average age was like 51. So
crazy, right?
I'm not training spring chickens.
No.
Yeah.
No. So for anyone out there listening, for me, I'm 32. It's like, I can do this until the wheels fall off when I'm 70 if I treat my body correctly.
Exactly. And that's where I want to make it land.
Yeah. Or for the people that are sitting there that heard Pat maybe speak. I don't know if you listened to his episode, Pat Lever.
Yes.
I mean, you could do this, like I said, forever and ever, as long as you treat your body right. So, but I think that's a perfect segue into treating your body right. Like, you reached out to me being like, hey, I have some thoughts. I have some ideas of what might be going on underneath the surface. And so you've been helping me personally and just trying to identify how to get back to my not only athletic self where I feel like I'm producing at an elite level again, but just feeling good as an individual. So I do want to understand and let the listeners know, especially for those that are women, how are you helping them personally? What are some of maybe the services or the things that you're doing to help educate women and their bodies and understanding them?
Yeah, even with you, we were running labs in gym. And we were part of a beta program. So we were running labs and I started seeing the same trends over and over. I'm not feeling like myself. I'm putting in all the work. And you see it in gym as well. And you kind of associate maybe it's stress or something as well. Maybe their nutrition isn't as dialed in as they say. But then when the labs came back, it was like, okay, wow, there's a lot of patterns that we're seeing, the common, the vitamin Ds, the hormones were all over the place. And then I'm like, okay, it's not just our older athletes. It's some of our athletes in their 30s as well. And then you were also having your podcast talking about it as well, which made me think, okay, let me just reach out. She's going to think I'm crazy, but let me reach out.
Yeah.
Like I said, it almost felt like a sales, but it was truly that I cared. Well, maybe I need to bounce some ideas,
Yeah.
We can talk
Yeah.
ourselves into one thing, we can get hyper focused on it, but maybe we're not looking at the sky view, essentially.
Yeah.
Looking at
Yeah, for
everything.
sure. For sure. And even though maybe like when we got my labs back, it wasn't like oh my gosh, look, we have the answer. If anything, we have some more gray areas to take a look at. It's still giving people direction. And I still feel like I'm heading in a good direction, even just after the few things we talked about trying to shift. So I think it's just an important call out to be like, ask for help, or for people that are listening to other people that can help, reach out like Missy and help a girl out.
Yeah. Because it's normally not just one thing. It's like you said, it's, okay, I'm feeling fatigued. I'm not performing as well, but what's causing it? And it's not, in your case, it's not one thing that's causing it.
No, it's never linear. And I know that even just as a trainer, like people are like, well, I've been doing all the things and checking all the boxes, what's going on? And so let's talk a little bit about that as far as like, I mean, you said that you're working with folks that are the average age, let's just say 51. I think something that you believe in is that your best years aren't behind you already.
Not at all. Not at all.
And even when I turned 30, I was like, I'm sweating more, things feel different, I'm a little creaky. What in the world do these next like couple of decades have to bring for me? Like, did I already miss my prime, or am I entering it? Or what does that look like? So I just wanted to open up the floor for you to talk to those people that need to hear that message today.
Yeah, especially strength. It doesn't have an expiration date.
Yep.
I mean, some of our clients are in their 70s. Our athletes are in their 40s, 50s, 60s. You know, our oldest is 79. There you go. She competes with her mom or with her daughter. And it was actually Amy who had said, I thought my best years were behind me. And that was before she lost, 65 pounds, I want to say it was. And, she competes on the world level now with DECA championships. She's got a couple little batons that have come home with her, but age didn't change that. It's really her beliefs that changed throughout those years, changing her habits, looking at everything overall. And sometimes in your case too, was it stress? Are you drinking enough water? Are you doing your strength training? And let's change one habit at a time, because those best years are far from behind you.
Yeah, for sure. So are there specific things that you're doing with this population to help them like really tap into that? Like, I don't know if there's any trends that you've started to see with
strength.
Yeah. Tell me more.
Yep. Strength training is never going to go away. So really, if you're in your 40s, you should already be doing at least 2 strengths. I believe 3, if not 4.
A week.
A week.
Yep.
Your old HIIT style training, it's not going to do it. I don't know, jazzercise if it's popular up there. We still have like your Orange Theories, no bashing, but it's just taxing their bodies more. So they're seeing additional stress. And then they're like, let's cut my calories because I'm not losing weight. Let me cut some more calories. That kind of trend we're seeing. And then at that age too, hormones are a factor. Really, it started 10 to 15 years ago. It started at your age, but they're not thinking about it until
50s, 60s.
40s. Yeah. I mean, I'm 49 myself. A lot of that started a couple years ago. And your body's always talking, but you got to wake up and actually listen to it.
For sure.
It's trying to tell you little things. And like I told you, it whispers well before it starts screaming at you that something is wrong.
Yeah. I actually want to rewind back to the strength training piece, because I'm a coach just like you that are working with a lot of different type of people. And I think a lot of what we would preach is that strength training is king, not just when it comes to body composition, but just longevity in general. And obviously, like, cardiovascular health has its place and it's important, but there's certain things that strength training give you that cardiovascular training doesn't. And if we're looking at cortisol levels, which I know is a big part of inflammation and like how our bodies are actually functioning correctly, like the cardiovascular side, if you're just training that, your levels could be high or they could be off, right? So my question as someone for you as a fellow coach in the space is, even looking at me, someone at the elite level, one of the feedback that I think that I got from you, and then just, I have a nutritionist as well, is incorporating strength training back into my routine a little bit more than it has been. Cause right now I'm probably only strength training 2, maybe 3 times a week at most. The rest of it is all on ergs or I'm running. and again, those are fun and those make me an aerobic monster. But again, from a health standpoint, they're not feeding what my body might potentially be needing. How do we kind of incorporate all of the things that will allow for our body to succeed health wise, longevity wise, but also as an elite athlete, like just as an elite performer. I'm curious to know your thoughts on how we can fit it all in.
Well, first, the muscle, that's key. It's going to help keep the body composition down. It's going to help with your longevity as far as your muscle or your bone density even goes as well, because a lot of those hormones are decreasing with age as well. But power is the first thing to go.
Right.
Most people don't think about that. So if you can incorporate those compound movements into your workouts and then still have that cardio after, maybe you're limited to an hour. Most of us are super busy. Get at least, a 40-minute strength workout and then finish it off with some cardio. We do some like zone 2 at the end of ours, or maybe we're going to do a Tabata style 20-10s or 30-10, something along that nature. Is very quick power movements. Even with our clients that are in their 70s, we're still doing that.
Yeah.
Because that's going to help them long term. And then muscle will prevent other things like falls. Because then what happens once you fall? You break something. The mind goes too, right?
Yeah.
Think about how many people that have fallen, broken a hip, and then spiraled, essentially.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, and again, I think this bigger idea of like, let's flop it back around to where let's make strength training a priority. For sure, more of a priority than it is, then it takes out all that time for the fluff or the stuff that we feel guilted into, right? Like if I'm not training in zones 4 and 5, I'm not actually moving the lever. And I think that's something I preach about quite often is like, actually your base systems are the ones you should be training 80% of the time at least, and not this upper zone 4, zone 5 heart rate situation, right? So maybe what I'm going through is further elevating, like, okay, I need to take a little bit of time away from that, put back in my base fundamental lifts, and then make, some of those higher zone, make that the accessory work versus making that the primary work, and seeing how my ever-changing body as I'm 32 and continue to get older, seeing how that allows for me to feel and perform. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah. And have you ever looked at your heart rates as you're doing a strength training workout? Like, I'm not sure if you're doing a lot of barbell work, right?
I'll do a lot of it. Like barbell, dumbbell. I mean, I have access to it all at this crazy gym, but I do. And a lot of my heart rate zones are zone 0, 1, and maybe a little bit of 2. So it's a lot of those lower impact zones.
Yep. And then that's maybe because you're laying on your back, for an example. But if you're doing something like a squat thruster or a heavy barbell squat, or we use, dumbbells and kettlebells here. If you're using a heavy kettlebell, that heart rate's going to come up, even on a basic goblet squat. Yeah. So you're still getting some of that in there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Those that take my DECA classes will be in the strength section. They're like, that was only the starters.
Yep.
And it's just basic weights, nothing crazy.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. So I think just to sum that up is we got to look, especially again, and I'm not going to say that men don't apply this too, but because I'm a woman, I'll share this.
Does.
Like, yes, we got to realize that, like, if we want to make it to the starting line, our health has to be the first priority. And as much as we'd love to spend all of our time being in those higher heart rate zones and smushing ourselves into the ground, actually, I don't know who would love to do that.
Not me.
I don't. But again, we got to listen to the body and put our health first. And as a byproduct of that, the performance, what we will have in the energy tank, and it will come through.
It will.
Yeah. So let's talk about then, like, your body is talking. Your body's talking, and it's time for you to listen.
Yeah. So things like brain fog. We have a lot of hormonal women here. So you're perimenopause. You hear things like, I have brain fog. I'm fatigued. I didn't sleep last night. Because that's one of the common questions I ask. How well did you sleep? Oh, I got 6 hours. Okay. First off, that's terrible. That's trash. But how many times did you get up last night? So diving in a little bit deeper. They've got bloating, slower recovery. So that's little things your body's giving off as cues. I just feel off. That's even a cue. Like, okay, something else is going on.
Yep.
And then we can start diving in deeper to that as well. Then start looking at your habits. Are you training hard? Are you eating well? Are you doing everything right? All right, what aren't you doing? What else is your body trying to tell you there? Because that's not just one little thing.
For sure. Is there something that like maybe you, your members or clients are utilizing just to help track these certain habits? And if so, what are those habits that you guys are dialing in on that people are like missing the boat on that maybe they think that they're performing well on?
Yeah, and I guess because we're a small gym, like we take pride in knowing everybody's name. And when you walk
Yeah.
in, we're checking in. So before you even do your semi-private workout, how are you feeling today? Is anything hurt? And even at the end, then we're checking in back in. How was that weight? Do we need to go up? So we're tracking their weight. So we have a lot more conversations that are happening with our members within us as coaches, but then with
Yeah.
our members as well. Each member's, you'll start seeing them go off in a corner and then they're having a little conversation about something.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, it's bouncing
Are
those
there,
ideas off too.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, community is everything in this too.
Yeah. But then we use things like we use Trainer Eyes for some of our clients that are on peptides or, GLP-1s. So
Yeah.
we're truly tracking because I want to make sure they're not losing too much weight. We have a My Zone. So with the My Zone's up on there, even for our strength sessions to make sure, hey, maybe you need to back that down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Are you breathing over there? Are you holding your breath? And then tweaking as we go along as well.
Absolutely, for
Yeah.
sure. Have there been any trends? Like, I have to imagine, like, sleep is probably up there
Oh,
as one of the top
forever.
trends.
Forever.
Forever it will be sleep. If everyone can just get more
It
and better
will.
sleep.
Yeah, it'll never go away because most of us don't. I had the conversation today. Somebody was saying they keep waking up, they're not sleeping well. All right,
Mm-hmm.
tell me more. Tell me more why you weren't sleeping well. What time do you put your phone down? So I
Yeah.
go to bed every night at 8. She has a habit track, even a paper habit tracker.
Yep.
She goes to bed at 8 p.m. All right. When do you put your phone down? When I go to bed? Not good. Not good. There's our problem. Our cortisol levels are already up. So you're going to wake up in the middle of the night. Liver is going to dump out that glucose and you're going to be waking up. Those
Yeah.
hormones are going to go off. Probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was waking up at 9 p.m. I go to bed at 6:30. So 9 p.m.
Love
seems,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was waking up by 9, 10, 11 o'clock. It was the exact same thing. It was just those elevated cortisol levels.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it actually might be worth talking about like some sleep regimen or sleep routine because I think we both can agree that's going to be the number one needle mover in not
Uh-huh.
just performance, but health in general. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, what are maybe some ideas that you've had for routine? Obviously, putting the screens away at a certain time, that's a
Hour
big one.
before. Yep. Hour
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. What else have you maybe coached your clients on?
Shower before hopping into bed, bring down
Mm.
that body temperature, cool shower, especially this time of year. It's hot
Oh,
here.
it's so
It's,
hot.
90 whatever here and
Yeah.
humid. So we got the double whammy. So that'll help cool down. And then while you're in there too, work on some box breathing.
Yeah.
Seems silly. We use a lot of box breathing here.
Yeah. Box
Um,
breathing in the shower.
yeah. Yep.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't know about you. I've got constant noise around me. As coaches, we
Hmm.
have constant stress. We're thinking about things to try to get in the shower and just, I don't know, I have to actually count to myself
Yeah.
to do box breathing, but it's actually a quiet moment. I've even stopped listening to podcasts and stuff in the shower because I needed that downtime. And that,
Hmm.
as women, a lot of times we're running kids here. We have to take care of everybody before we're actually taking care of ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start
Okay.
protecting that sleep. Start asking for help too. It's another
Yeah.
key.
Yeah. That makes me even think about, again, just going down the line with the different habits. You mentioned, I think you even talked about this on one of my posts or put a comment of just downshifting in general. I think
Yes.
even Titan 6 Actual said something about it
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Like I didn't realize, especially as a coach, and I'm constantly at the, I mean, not just even at the gym. When I go home, my job comes with me because I have a phone.
Yeah,
It
unfortunately,
doesn't
that's
leave
a
me.
key. That phone's deadly.
And I love my people. For
Yep.
those of you listening, I love you. But when it's constant 24/7, I didn't realize like, wow, I think I'm in like fight or flight a lot of
All day.
hours a day that I did not recognize it. So any like tips, tricks, ways that you've been able to downshift, like not just even before bed, but just like once during maybe even the middle of the day to kind of even out that stress level?
Yeah, I have the luxury of taking a quick nap every day. So I get
Oh,
a
love it.
quick 10 to 15 minute nap in the middle of the day because I start
Yeah.
at, 3:30 in the morning. So that's a little different. But turning off some of your notifications, they'll get to you. As a business owner, they'll get to you. How
Hmm.
often when we were texting back and forth, both of our phones on do not disturb?
Yep.
Concentrate what you're on. Sit your ass down and eat. Are you on your phone the whole time you're eating?
Mm-hmm.
Guess who's not paying any attention to the food that you're shoveling into your mouth a lot of
Yep.
times? And that's how people overeat as well, but you're not fully digesting. You still have that stress level, that cortisol level is up. And then sometimes you just have to unload somebody too. Are they bringing something into your life? As hard as it sounds, that's something I struggled in my 30s with. Now, as I've gotten older, yeah. Maybe you just need to go. Some people just need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking the truth there, we could have a whole different podcast conversation on protecting your energy.
Yeah, exactly. And then giving up on some of the stuff on your past too. Like in your case, a lot of your podcasts, we're talking about some of the past that's constantly getting dredged up as well. So that creates stress as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Something interesting that you and I also talked about, and I honestly didn't think about it because I've always lived in Colorado. I'm used to the elevation, the altitude, the heat, the random humidity that's coming. And we have like some hot, rainy days coming in. But you said, hey, I think you're not hydrated enough. I actually think you're walking around dehydrated. And I'm like sitting here with it, I'm like, when I drink like 3 of these a day, really? Like, how much more clear can my pee get?
Yep.
So I'm curious to know like your thoughts on hydration and what might be potential downsides from people walking around dehydrated.
Yeah. I mean, the brain fog back to that, joints.
Yeah.
You know, your joints can ache just solely from that. You're not recovering. I mean, your cartilage is what, like 70%, something crazy, 70% water, you know, things they don't think about, the fluid around your joints, water, your organs, water. You really need that. Yeah. As we're both here gulping in the whole cast.
I know. Yes. Because like we get excited and I need to just gulp water while I'm excited. So
exactly. And waking up, that's one of the keys that we do is first thing in the morning, take in 8 ounces of water.
Yep.
Before you drink in caffeine, or you didn't seem like you were a high caffeine person like I am, but
I am not. No.
Yeah. But in that case, a lot of people wake up and they start having coffee. How often do you hear that as a coach? Oh yeah, I had my coffee. That's water. That's not water. It's not water.
Yeah. You know, I did hear an interesting fact that if you are a very regular avid coffee drinker, that because of how your body, I guess I should say the word is used to the coffee bean, while it's a dehydrator for those that are regularly drinking it, that technically like you could count some of your ounces of water in your coffee as towards your daily hydration. I still think that there should be more. I think you should have water before your coffee.
Yes. Yep.
But that, I don't know. I did hear that weird fact once upon a time.
I could see that being true. We say drink the water first because it's going to rehydrate your intestines first. So that's going to get things moving. So if you have some bloating issues, if you have constipation issues, that's going to help get some things moving in there as well. And rehydrating that first. I forget what it was. I want to say it was 16 ounces actually goes to your intestines and all first. Before it goes to your bladder first thing in the morning. Some bladder specialist told me that one time. It was a client. Yeah. Something I never even thought about.
Yep, for sure. For sure. Well, and I kind of want to use myself as we move forward as an example. I think one of the bigger things that you caught on with me was one, that I was feeling off, and then two was there was this bloating effect. Like, guys, when I'm saying bloating, I'm talking about like it's constant 24/7 to where like the things that normally fit, they don't fit very well anymore. And it feels like you're constantly on your menstrual cycle. And I'm like, that is not right. Like, I know something is off here. And I think right now we're in the middle of trying to figure out what potentially is causing that. I think we both agree it's not just one thing. There's a variety of factors so we're still on the journey of figuring that out. But from your perspective, especially for people that are probably thinking, oh, I thought that was normal. No, that's not normal. Like, what might be some potential causers of this bloating or this feeling off?
Yeah, it could be, I mean, I'm gluten intolerant, so something simple as that could be gluten. Yep. It could be food. It could be you're taking in too little fiber, or maybe you're taking in too much fiber. You're not taking in enough water. It could be a GYN type issue, something with cysts going on there. What's some of the other things? I mean, the types of food you're taking. Yeah, stress is always one. I think it's your second brain, especially as women. Some people say it's the hips. I still say it's the stomach. Yep. It controls just about everything that we do. But it could be when you're taking in that food too around your workouts. Are you taking
Yeah.
in the wrong foods? Are you taking in those heavy vegetables, those raw vegetables? That was something I asked you too. Are you taking in raw vegetables or cooked vegetables? Are you eating a ton of them? You have unlimited vegetables on your nutrition plan. Are you taking advantage of that?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so I'm assuming people on the other line listening to this, they might be like, wow, that's a lot. Maybe I do all of those things, or I'm feeling overwhelmed of like, how do I know where to begin, how to start to tackle some of this? I think this is where the idea of asking for help becomes a really big deal.
Most
So
definitely.
let's talk about like what happens first. I think just to set the stages a little bit and kind of drag people through the glass of some of the consequences if they're not asking for help, where they might find themselves in a couple of years from now.
Yeah, because you start finding that, I call it drifting. You slowly start finding things normal. Okay, fatigue's normal. Oh, maybe I'll try this. I'll try another supplement. But you don't actually know what's wrong. Maybe you go and take some, I don't know, magnesium as an example, because maybe I'm not recovering well, I'll just take magnesium. Well, magnesium's responsible for like 300 different things. Where do you need somebody to look at everything? Kind of start connecting those dots as well.
Yep.
And that's why I send it in, like our doctors will send an intake, but then I send you additional questions. I start diving in deeper and looking at things, because it's not just one lab. It's not, one sole thing that's like, okay, this is it. Like the one thing we were looking for on your labs is it one thing? And it's not. It wasn't one hormone. It wasn't one workout. It was probably a combination of a whole bunch of things, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
and that's kind of how we coach too. We coach by looking at all these different things and look at it as a system.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it got to the point where it was like, I need to stop guessing, and I need to, like you said, I need to start putting together the dots. And the first step for me was I reached out to a nutritionist. I actually had her on this podcast, and she got me acquainted with someone on her team. And as we've come to figure out, like over the last couple of months, like my nutrition's pretty darn clean. Of course, here and there I'll have like the ice cream or the cookie, but that's part of just being a human. That's like the standard 80-20 rule, if you ask me, right? So I'm doing things pretty well. So that's when I knew that there had to be something more, a little bit underlying. And so now we're looking at things like stress. We're looking at things like hydration. I'm looking at downshifting a lot during the day, because I'm running, my brain doesn't shut up at all, because it's been conditioned to be that way for the last 5 years. So there's a lot of those different things. And again, reaching out to you for some help and some guidance has been absolutely wonderful. Is there any other ways that, again, women, men, anyone can start to reach out for some sort of help?
Yep, I can give you the link to like our website. We can talk individually, because basically, I don't know how it is in your area, but in our area, as far as like labs, one of our clients went in and was like, "Can you run labs?" And she's like, "Is there something wrong?" And our client was like, "No, I want to prevent something being wrong. So let's get some context where we're at." That's one of the things I said to you. Let's see what a 32-year-old athlete looks like now, because knowing your hormone levels now will help us when you're in your 40s. Yeah. We have your baseline. We know what your testosterone is now, because that's something, you know what a normal level is for testosterone? 1. Oh, that's all you need on a lab to come up as normal. It's not optimal, but it's going to show up as normal as 1, because that's how far, I won't even go off on my tangents, that female health is as far as how it's taken. You look at all the other drugs out there for men who aren't performing, what are out there for women? It's not.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so stop accepting this to be normal, essentially.
For
Listen
sure.
to your body. Something is wrong. If you feel like something's wrong, there probably is something wrong. And then we'll start looking at, let's look at your labs. And then let's look at your habits. Let's look at your daily life. Let's look at your stress, good and bad. There's good and bad stress. You compete. You know what good and bad stress feels like. There's a big difference there. But it's still stress. Your body doesn't know any difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else that maybe we either skimmed over, or something that's like on your mind? Maybe it was like a client case recently where you're like, wow, I didn't even think that this was possible, but this is what happened, and like how we're able to get them to a resolution. Like, I'm not sure if there's anything that you wanted to share.
Yeah. I mean, I guess vitamin D is like the one thing that we see over and over and over and over. I think you even said to me, oh yeah, vitamin D came back low, but did you do anything?
I did. I ordered my vitamin D and I'm taking it daily.
Yeah. But I mean, initially you're like, oh, okay, my vitamin D is low. But do you think about how it affected your mood, or were you getting sick often? Like after your races, were you attributing it to post-race flu? Like you get those post-race flus, or flu as we often call it. You know, how is your body managing stress? How's it managing your blood sugar? How's it insulin? Like we look at insulin levels on these labs as well, which most of your standard labs don't even look at your insulin.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we look at family history too.
Yeah. Oh,
how you pick your parents. I didn't pick mine well. So how you pick your parents is a part of that too.
Right. Well, so that kind of brings me to another like thought baby here. So like we talked a little bit about vitamin D and testosterone, like those being two things that like on the labs, it'll say this is normal. But are there anything, and I'm assuming that this is primarily based towards women because we have so much research on men. Is there anything that you're like, this comes back at a normal level saying that it's optimal, but like it's really not, and you should take a further look into this?
Yeah, they're comparing your levels to somebody in a nursing home. Do you want to be really compared as an athlete to somebody in their nursing home? No.
Oh, that's sad.
You want to be at an optimal level. So you don't want to be just normal. You know, a lot of people's vitamin D comes back normal, but is your doctor looking at it past that level? Are they looking at all the different pieces that actually are contributing to it? Probably not. They're just reading the lab and going down the list.
Yeah.
Are they looking at other things to see? Okay, your testosterone was low. Your oh my gosh, drawing a blank. There's some other levels on there. Your insulin, your recovery is high. You're showing some high inflammation markers, which is very common too. Something like creatine, your creatine levels were up. Well, are you an athlete? Well, everybody should be taking creatine in my opinion, but are you taking creatine? Did the doctor tell you to stop taking that 2 days before? Probably not.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because all your other kidney numbers are okay, right?
Yeah.
So then they're skipping over some of those. They're just looking at it from an average 90-year-old in a nursing home. Nobody wants to be compared to that person.
Right, for sure.
Or I don't want to be.
When I get there, I'll be grateful for the life that I live. But in the meantime, I'm going to live it out being in my young body. So
yeah. But I think it just essentially shows how important coaching is.
Yeah,
you know, on
absolutely.
our level for us, you know, how important it is, because we're going to take a deeper dive. Your doctor, in their defense, what did they get, 5-10 minutes with you? If they even saw you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. True that.
Yeah. And then we can figure out what's appropriate for you, because each person's going to be different too.
Yeah.
Looking at the individual in front of you, essentially.
Absolutely. I think before we have you sort of kind of talk through again, like how people can reach out if they feel like, hey, I want to work with Missy. It just to kind of wrap it all up into a nice bundle. Like maybe we pick like, and I know it's going to be so hard for us to pick the top 3 because there's so many different things, right? But that's, again, go get help, go get coaching to figure out what your top 3 to 5 maybe are. What are like 3 very realistic things that someone listening to this could take away to start to, you know, attack that feeling of like, I'm feeling off and I know something's not right?
Yeah. Stress and sleep management. I think they're the 2 easiest things. Start asking for help. Are you still? Yeah. I'm stubborn. I'm stubborn as they come. As women, especially, I think a lot of us that are high performers too feel like we need to do everything ourselves. We feel like we're cheating otherwise. We feel like we're not doing what we fully could do by asking for help. And I keep getting reminded that, and I get reminded for that. And then, ask for help. Ask for help. And go to the right person too. You know, your family doctor might be a good start point, or they may say, is there something wrong with you?
Yeah. Sleep, stress, asking for help, folks.
And drink your water.
And drink your drink your freaking water.
Please.
Cheers.
For the love of God, drink your water.
Absolutely.
Before your coffee, caffeine, and alcohol. Make it a priority.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those that were like me, that again, my first step was like, I'm going to go to a nutritionist. If I'm gaining weight, clearly it has to be food related. Well, maybe it's not 100% food related, right? So going to those different avenues and not being afraid to ask the questions. So,
exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So how can people reach out to you the best way, come work with you, things of that sort?
Yeah, you can, Facebook's always fine. And then our website, donedonefitness.com.
Perfect. Okay, I can put that in the show notes then so people can go and fill out a contact us form or interest form.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Sweet. Okay. Well, this was awesome. I'm so happy that you reached out and now hopefully we're opening up the door for other women to seek the help that they need. And maybe you're that door that they open, which would be amazing. But I appreciate you having you on the podcast. And I'm sure if we have any follow-up questions, we can get you back on again for round 2.
Oh boy.
It was our enough round 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you again. I appreciate you.